Greetings. Today, I would like to take a look at the upcoming new moon in Scorpio. This new moon will be bringing some interesting energies and a sextile, grand sextile pattern with trines, sextiles, and oppositions that will be moving throughout the week. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive today. I am Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Sunday, October 26th, Astro perspective. It's not exactly a vibe of the day today so much as looking at the bigger picture, as I like to dive in a little deeper with some of the bigger picture energies on the weekend. So we are heading toward a Scorpio new moon. This upcoming new moon in Scorpio is on Friday, November 1st at 5:46 a.m. Pacific time. That is 8:46 a.m. Eastern and at 9 degrees Scorpio. So with this coming Scorpio new moon, we are completing the moon cycle that began with the Libra solar eclipse on October 2nd. So we are completing this month, this moon cycle of themes of relationship, partnership. What does it look like? What does it mean to cooperate, collaborate, find common ground? Is there even any common ground in certain situations, right? And so we are really dealing with opposing energies. And in last week's deep dive video, I shared about the Mars Pluto opposition. And so this energy, the energy of Mars opposing Pluto is taking us into this place of agitation, feeling the need, the drive to move, to fix things, right? To take action. That Mars impulse is driving us and is perhaps making us feel a little unnerved about the situation currently. And Mars in Cancer additionally makes those feelings, the emotional component of what is driving us, even stronger. So that the tendency to be impulsive, to be spontaneous, direct, uncensored, is Mars energy. And so Mars is at 29 degrees Cancer. And it is especially at its exact opposition anyway. It will be at 29 degrees Cancer. I could tell you where it is exactly today if my program will work here for me. But so the point is that there is an emotional component to our agitation, our nervousness, our nervous energy, our perhaps anxieties, fears, what have you, right? The need to push forward, to meet challenges, to take action. Is coming from an emotional place. We are also, as I shared about the upcoming election, we are also engaged in this struggle, a struggle with the Mars energy for caring, for what it looks like to be in a world or a society where caring is valued, where motherhood and women's rights are valued. That struggle, that fight for the themes of freedoms in terms of caring and how we care for one another. The themes of power and how power is used, authority, and who has the authority and the power, with Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn, before Pluto finally enters Aquarius on November 19th. to finally complete its time in Capricorn. So we've had several months of Pluto in Aquarius this year, and last year we had some time with Pluto in Aquarius, so we've had a taste. But right now Pluto is in Capricorn, bringing up these deeper themes of power, power over, authority, authoritarianism, patriarchy. And so that back and forth. And additionally, Pluto in Capricorn also has to do with reclaiming of power, right? So finding the power from within, finding the power to stand up, to find a backbone, your own backbone, to stand up to the powers that be, and that Mars energy again pushing us, but also there as the potential sort of explosive energy to react emotionally, the emotional reactivity that comes from a place of who we are and how we are how we are standing in what matters to us. So the other opposition that is happening is with Jupiter. There yeah, so the the Jupiter, the Venus in Sagittarius opposition to Jupiter, which I discussed in again my video about the election and the election themes, and I will repost that video. I meant to do it last week, so I will definitely put the link in this video so you can review that video about the energies of this election time, which was recorded several months ago, but the language of astrology speaks to us, and now we see how it is showing up in our experience here, that we could see in the energies even many months ago. So with the opposition of Venus to Jupiter, Venus is about values. It's about what matters to us, right? Our desires, our wishes, our hopes, and in Sagittarius, in many ways, about the bigger picture of our dreams, our beliefs. So what we value and how that shows up in our beliefs. And then Jupiter in Gemini, bringing us into this place of what is our paradigm? What is our belief system? How do we put that into words? Who gets to choose the beliefs? Who gets to choose the operating system, the paradigm? And operating system really refers more to Capricorn energy, but we have Pluto there as well. So the vibe of that Jupiter Venus opposition is really pushing us to decide what we believe, the Pluto and Mars energy, where we stand, the Venus energy, what we value, what matters to us, what's important. And so part of what is happening with the Scorpio new moon on Friday, November 1st is first of all, Scorpio is taking us deep. Scorpio is a deep dive into the underworld, into the realm of mystery, into the energies that are behind what manifests in the material world. So how those underlying energies show up and how we can work with them. So when we talk about Scorpio energy as bringing what has been in the shadow to light, to the light of consciousness, to our conscious awareness, it creates that space for transformation. So the Scorpio new moon brings a beginning of a new cycle having to do with transformation, empowerment, reclaiming power. Now, of course, this is if we're stepping into the highest version of these energies. It can also represent um, disempowerment, betrayal, right? Use of power over another. And so we want to really be mindful in how we show up in our, for ourselves, starting with for yourself and your own self-care, and then of course for your family, for your community, for the people you are working with or sharing life with, right? Sharing this experience of this moment in life with. So transformation. The Scorpio new moon also it happens at a time when we have this interesting, almost grand sextile. And so I've been sharing in some recent videos about the sextile energy between Pluto and Neptune, a waxing sextile, which means they are moving apart and forming that first 60-degree of separation, which is a kind of a little bit of wind in the sails, a fortuitous, easy flow of energy. And then we also have a sextile, waxing sextile between Neptune and Uranus. So these planets, the outer planets, are working together, are harmonizing and aligning to say, yes, something is possible, something is moving forward with a little more ease. But again, remember, it really matters where you are coming from because what is being pushed forward is going to depend on where you are choosing to align. And so the wind is coming, but what are the sails that you're putting up, right? Where's the direction you are intending to go? Because the wind is saying, yes, yes, I will carry you there. And so if you are unconscious or uh, dwelling on fears and anxieties, that wind is going to tend to want to blow you in the direction of saying, okay, you're focusing on, you are aligning with the things you are afraid of. So let's push you in that direction so you can have that experience. And now, not to put more fear into that, because if you're experiencing fear, it doesn't mean you're going to create those fears. It just means, again, shining that light on what is in the realm of the unconscious. So recognizing it, owning it, knowing what's going on with you, that goes a hugely long way. So, and a little bit of positive energy helps to steer, to tell that wind, yes, this is the direction I would like to go, please. And so that's why intentions are so powerful. It's why how you treat yourself and your self-care is so powerful and important. Choosing to be patient and kind with yourself instead of hard on yourself. Choosing to say, this is the world I want to live in. These are the values that are important to me. This is what I believe. This is what brings meaning to my life. This is what I care about. Even a little bit of those positive ways of bringing yourself into alignment allows this yes from the universe to blow you in that direction. Does that make sense? So okay, so it doesn't, right, so you might be thinking, oh no, if I have worries or fears, am I going to create those? Don't worry about that, because it's okay. It's human to have worries and anxieties and fears. And so the difference is to say, yeah, I have those worries and fears, but I'm not going to dwell on them. I am going to find the ways that I maybe spiral into negative thinking and notice it, maybe interrupt the pattern, shake it off, go outside, take some deep breaths, get a little rest, ask yourself what you need, because by starting with taking care of yourself, giving yourself what you need, it gives you that ability to regroup, recenter yourself, remember what is important to you, and then choose to align with that and say, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm open to it going in a positive direction, right? Whatever is happening, right? Which may or may not be an election. And I mean, that's an example of what is showing up in the collective. So if you're feeling anxiety around not just the election itself, but maybe how people around you are are acting, or their Mars reactivity is showing up, starts with taking a deep breath, remembering who you are, what's important to you, what you value, what you believe, what gives meaning to your life, and then saying, okay, from this place, how do I need to show up? Where is my backbone? Where is my authority to say what's important to me? How do I need to show up to affirm and validate what's important to me for myself and others around me who might be struggling at the moment, right? With being able to connect to positive possibilities. So self-care is the starting point, and then let that caring and positive and loving perspective expand from you taking care of yourself. And that's why I do astrology for unshakable self-care. It's so, so very powerful. Okay, so we have these sextile energies, this yes from the universe, the Neptune sextile Pluto, the Uranus sextile Neptune, which, by the way, are going to continue. These are very slow moving planets, and this sextile pattern is going to continue in interesting ways as we go forward for the next year, 2, 3 years, 4 years, maybe. So but with this Scorpio new moon, we have earth and water energies. So we've got Mars opposite Pluto, we've got Venus opposite Jupiter, we've got Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Venus, and Mars, all essentially in, or let's see, so up here. So yeah, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Mercury all in this sextile pattern, not Venus, although Venus is opposing Jupiter. So in the final degrees of Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, Taurus, and Cancer, we have 5 planets: Mercury, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Mars. And if we had a 6th planet at late Virgo, then we would have a exact grand sextile, or very close to exact. And in fact, on Monday of this week, so October 27th, sorry, what did I say? Today, this video for today is October 27th. My apologies. For Monday, October 28th, we will have the moon at that later degree of Virgo, forming or activating that point that is the 6th point of the grand sextile. Venus is not yet, as of Monday, is not, or sorry, Mercury is not yet at late Scorpio, but it will be later in the week as we head into that new moon in Scorpio. So, okay, so what is a grand sextile? A grand sextile is a lot of that harmonic yes energy. It's a lot of that activation energy that is saying yes to, again, whatever you are aligning with. So you want to consciously align on purpose with what's important to you, not with your fears, although it's okay if those come up. You just want to recognize them and do what you can to interrupt the spiral of challenging thinking. And also with a grand sextile are oppositions, and the oppositions represent um, a paradoxical opposing energies. So where things feel like complete opposites, like they can't simultaneously coexist because it is an either or kind of experience. So that can be a little crazy making because we flip-flop, right? It's like, oh, everything is this way, and then you have the opposite experience of things flipping and recognizing, no, that wasn't true at all. Now everything is this way. So that is the nature of an opposition. And the invitation of an opposition is to hold the paradox, to hold the opposing energies, and to recognize that both things are true at the same time, right? They can be two sides of the same coin, even though they seem like they are opposite. And so we've got oppositions with, again, between Mars and Pluto, between Mercury and Uranus. Let's talk about that for a minute. And then, of course, between Venus and Jupiter, I already talked about. As the moon on Monday goes through late Virgo, it opposes Neptune. So briefly activating that sixth point of the grand sextile. Okay, so I said I would talk about Mercury opposing Uranus, and during the new moon, Uranus or Mercury will be at 28 degrees Scorpio, opposing Uranus at 25 degrees Taurus. And so Mercury is the everyday mind. It is our thinking, our mental processes, our communication. Uranus is our higher mind, it's higher consciousness, where new ideas and new thinking come from. And so we've got this opposition between higher level thinking and our everyday ordinary, what we're actually dealing with, right? So maybe in some ways this would be like the ideal, the ideal versus the real, right? The ideal and hopeful and wishful thinking versus hard reality. But at the same time, that Mercury is in Scorpio, saying there is a deeper truth here. So what is that deeper truth? I think all of us are going to have an opportunity to connect with it in our own way, with what is really unfolding or what is going on at deeper levels and what it means for us and how we think about things. There is the potential with a Mercury-Uranus opposition for these sparks of inspiration, higher consciousness, to come in a way that brings insight, that brings new views, that brings ability to see things in new ways, sort of sparks from out of the blue, things showing up in terms of like an aha moment or something appearing in our awareness that wasn't there before. So we want to think about these oppositions as, especially for the Scorpio new moon, which again is bringing transformation, bringing new possibility to the extent that we are willing to do our own deeper work. To again, the invitation here is get clear about who you are, where you stand, what matters to you, what is important to you, what you value, what brings meaning to your life, what you care about. These are the things that when we stay true to them, we don't know how the whole game is going to end, but what we do know is that we can stay true to who we are, and that is in the bigger spiritual picture. that is what life is about, right? It's about how do you stay true to yourself no matter what else is happening around you. And what does that look like? And each of us has to ask ourselves what that looks like for us. So getting in touch with that, and there are uh, things unfolding in the world that can feel very scary and can be very scary and intense if you're going through them. Absolutely. So I'm not saying that just to think positive and everything will be fine. It's not, it takes us being our whole selves, showing up in the ways that we are being asked to learn more about who we are and what it means to be your true self in the world for real, right? Okay, kind of, right? Some intense themes with this new moon. So that is the nature of Scorpio. And so take care of yourself, honor your path, your process, remember your buddies, right? With that Libra solar eclipse, we are still finishing up that the theme of the Libra energy from this moon cycle as we go through this week. And so who is your partner in, right, in all of this, and who do you want to lean on? How can you reach out and help others and connect in ways that you can work together? Collaboration, cooperation, partnership, supporting each other, right? What does that look like? And so really thinking about, how partnership has shown up for you in this current moon cycle, and what you're learning about partnership and how to work together with others, and how that can be a support for you as we go through this interesting, right, energy. A lot of, yes, positive energy, but a lot of challenges as well, and a lot of need to be true to ourselves and authentic and clear about what is important. And then, of course, with Mars, what it is we do about it. How do we show up? How do we take action? How do we take action that is in alignment with what is meaningful? So I will end it there, and I will share that video about the November 5th election that I recorded months ago. A link to that in the description for this video. So if you're looking for a little more insight on how all of this fits together, and the Scorpio new moon, the Mars Pluto opposition, the Venus Jupiter opposition, and election day, and what it is we are doing, like what is the story we are telling with the planets and our lives, and how we are moving through this particular story that we are in, right? We are active creators of the story, and we are also here to learn from what is happening. So showing up for yourself, showing up for things you care about, beliefs and ideals you care about, people you care about, and doing it in a way that is joyful and meaningful, and honoring of the bigger process of transformation, healing, and evolution, and how that is unfolding. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. And thank you for subscribing. I am here every day with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.